I tell you what I learned about keeping things to myself. I was one of those people that was just so happy to go run and tell somebody about the idea that I had, or, something great that had happened to me, or just some type of great inspiration that I had, right? I would go tell these people, about my little inspiration or my big idea and what I wanted to do. And then they'd be like, oh, okay. Or they'll be like, well, how you gonna do that? Right? Or sometimes they will be excited, right? Just because they know it's a good idea, but they didn't come up with the good idea. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's good, that's nice. But they don't give you the energy that you thought you was gonna get, right? One of the things that I learned is, why would they be excited about something that you were inspired with, right? God didn't give that to them. He gave it to you. That's for you to cultivate. It's for you to go on that journey of manifesting that thing and figuring it out, and how exactly how you're going to get this thing out so that it can be something where people could look at it and say like, oh, she did have a good idea, or he did have a good idea, right? I had to learn the hard way that God gave that to me. He didn't give that to nobody else. But because it was such a good idea, and we just be so excited, we run off and we tell people, and then because they're not as excited about it, then it diminishes our excitement about it. And then we throw it on the shelf and we forget about it, and all of a sudden it don't even have the juice that it had no more. We just be like, oh yeah, that was an idea about 5 years ago, when it was a really good idea. It was a really good thing, but it wasn't for them. It was for you. So what I had to learn the hard way is that I got to keep these things to myself for a while, right? We have to keep our inspirations to ourselves for a while. That's maturity. That's growth. Because when you're young and you don't really understand that, you run off and you're so excited and you're like, yeah, I got this amazing idea. But then when nobody reciprocates that same excitement, it diminishes the power of it for us. Meanwhile, it's still a good idea and it's still powerful. I had to learn the hard way, right? Because I had to go through all of those things, and just to come to the realization that I have to sit with what God gave me. I have to cultivate that for myself, because the truth is